Greetings, Sophisticated Intuition here with your Twin Flame Community Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine message for the month of October. I know it's been a little bit since I gave one of these messages, but Spirit did say go ahead and get this one out for this month. So we're going to go ahead and get started and see what it is that the Divine Masculine wants to say to the Divine Feminine and the Divine Feminine wants to say to the Divine Masculine, okay? Angels, archangels, ancestors, ascended masters, and the Holy Spirit. What is it that the Divine Masculine wants to say to the Divine Feminine and the Divine Feminine wants to say to the Divine Masculine? Ooh, wow, okay. I'm going to put them back. Let's see. Let's try and get one at a time here. All right, what is it that the Divine Masculine wants to say to the Divine Feminine? Okay, we'll take that. And what is it that the Divine Feminine wants to say to the Divine Masculine? We'll take, we'll take that. Cosmic butterflies at the bottom. And I'm not sure if it's has anything to do with the message. We're going to get back to it. Let me get all the cards out. All right. Okay, Spirit, what is it that the Divine Masculine wants to say to the Divine Feminine? Okay. And what is it that the Divine Feminine wants to say to the Divine Masculine? Okay. Got it too. Okay. Okay. What is it that the Divine Masculine wants to say to the Divine Feminine, please? 3 cards. Too many 10 coins. Okay. What is it that the Divine Masculine wants to say to the Divine Feminine? Okay. And actually, I almost forgot, so we'll come back to that in a second. What is it that the Divine Feminine wants to say to the Divine Masculine? So I have Divine Feminine on this side, Divine Masculine on this side, but just, whatever resonates for you, right? Because we have Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine within all of us, and we can be operating in one or the other or both, okay? All right, Divine Feminine, what is it that you want to say to the Divine Masculine for the month of October? Ooh, okay. Okay, all right. Okay. Oh, okay. So let's find out. Okay. Hold on, I'll wait to do that. Okay. Let's clarify before I get all in my feelings, okay? All right, I'm just talking about this in the general messages. Like, I got to detach my emotions, right? But when I see something, I'm going to be hurt for y'all. I'm going to be sad for y'all. I'm going to be, excited for you and happy for you as well. So let's just see here. All right, let me clarify. Please, Spirit, what is it that the Divine Masculine wants to say to the Divine Feminine? Okay. Okay. All right. And what is it that the Divine Feminine wants to say to the Divine Masculine? Okay. Clarifying. What is it that the Divine Feminine wants to say to the Divine Masculine? All right. Okay. Oh, the Hierophant here. Okay. So now I'm going to go back because I almost forgot. I like to find out what's the energy between the two. So what's going on here is it definitely looks like a separation, okay? A breakup if you were actually in a relationship with your twin flame divine counterpart. But I'm also seeing kind of like a spiritual breakup a little bit here. There seems to be like maybe a little bit of cutting of the tethering Okay. And this is divinely led here with the Hierophant showing up. So let me go back and let's see what I'm just going to get the journey of love. Okay. What is the energy between the two? Ooh. What is the energy between the divine masculine and the divine feminine? Oh, it's too much. The pearl thread it fell, huh? Yeah, okay. 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 And then I'm going to take a lover's oracle too. Okay. What is the energy between the divine masculine and the divine feminine? All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Let's start with divine masculine. The void, okay? One, I feel empty and I feel empty inside divine masculine. So I don't know if it was a divine feminine who's walked away from this situation or it was you, but because a lot of times it feels, you know, the one who's the breakupper is the one who ends up hurting the most. Or filling the void, okay? But I do feel like there's a sadness here in the twin flame connection. It's almost like it's almost like a karmic situation is working out or up in the up and up, and so that has caused some type of disconnect in the twin flame connection. Like maybe you're not hearing those telepathic messages. Or something like that. And so there's this hole, there's this void, because as much as you love your karmic, as much as you're in connection with your karmic, you miss your twin flame, you miss your divine counterpart. But your twin flame, your divine counterpart, I'm just gonna say feminine energy can feel that you're happy, and so she kind of withdrew her energy. That's what I'm picking up. But let me get down into this message. So that's why I'm kind of like ho-humming. It's a good energy. Nobody is like, you know, doing anybody wrong or lies and nothing like that. Well, maybe there might be a little bit of betrayal, some kind of heartbreak here. But we'll talk about that when I get down into it in the feminine side. But anywho, it's not like anybody intentionally hurt anybody here. People are just happy and moving on with their lives. And so, but twin flames can't ever be truly separated. So when you start to move on and vibrate higher, you know, ultimately you're going to attract your twin flame. And so there's this longing or this missing. That's kind of what I'm getting. Let me read it. So the void. This oracle brings you guidance. There are parts of your own process unfolding that you simply cannot know about yet. It will not always be this way, but for now, it is most helpful for you to only deal with what is immediately before you. All else will be shown when the time is right. There is growing to be done, and then the void will bring forth the next step on your path to meet you. You do not have to worry, and you do not have to search. Be present, be patient. When you can do something, do it. When you cannot, just be. Your time will soon come. If you're holding a question about relationship, surrender it into the void and let it become what it must be according to spiritual wisdom and love. So I'm picking this up on the masculine energy, which is actually like typically it's the feminine who's like waiting and hoping and wishing. But you know, in the twin flame community, we all experience that masculine and feminine no matter what, where we're just kind of like waiting and hoping and wishing and praying that they're going to come back. Essentially the energy will, because I really feel like this is a situation where you're happy in a connection possibly, or just in life in general. You don't have to be in a connection, but you're missing your twin. You're missing that connection, that telepathic connection. You feel like there's a distance between the two of you. There's already physical distance, and now there's spiritual distance. That's what I'm picking up. Now, you may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Okay? So yeah, this is picking up on a twin flame community that is not only in physical separation, but also in spiritual separation. And you feel like the tether has been cut. Now, it has not, it cannot be, okay? You are one, but the energy that you're currently experiencing feels that way. And so it's also giving me like the challenge, like a pretending type of energy, like you are truly happy, but there's a void, there's a hole in your heart, because something that brings you joy is being able to dream about your twin flame, or see visions and signs and synchronicities that remind you of them, and you haven't. Wow. So Ace of Swords, masculine energy here, Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands, okay? Some vision, okay? I just heard inspiration, okay? So there's some type of new beginning here that has been inspiring, some truth of something that's been revealed, okay? Okay. Five of Swords, okay? Conflict, battle that's been won at all costs, and then healing with the Star, wish fulfillment, destiny. But you see the Divine Masculine is sitting up on the throne with all the swords, okay, and the Divine Feminine is down on her knees. So she's hurt, and I apologize, the kids are back there playing video games, so that might come up in the feed, but don't allow it to distract you from the message. But yeah, there's, so the feminine energy is also hurt here, okay? But there's a healing that is happening in the midst of that. Why? Because of this new beginning. It's okay. Thank you, Spirit. So, reality has set in. Okay. That's what it is. So it's so funny because I don't know if I said that or not. I just got through with all these generals, and now I'm jumping into this, and I've just been talking and talking and talking. This Mercury retrograde has me rambling, y'all. So forgive me. But, I was just saying that, this inspiration here, this new beginning, or this truth that has come to light. Sometimes the truth can hurt, right? But also it can be very inspiring. But what I was just saying was that for a couple of weeks, my energy, the spirit, the collective really, because I know a few people had this experience, was focused on some 3D physical material realm things that were going on, because they needed to be sorted through, they needed to be done in order to attain and obtain some things in life that I wanted. I had to actually step out of 5D and focus on some real life stuff, and it all worked out beautifully. Okay, well, I'm picking up this energy of 3D has removed your ability to communicate or connect with your twin. Okay, I'm picking this up on the masculine side, but it could be on the feminine as well. It's like you had to go focus on 3D, so you removed yourself from 5D or the spiritual realm, and now you feel like you don't have that connection at a distance with your twin. And I am not talking to twins who are in connection. I'm not. These are people who are separated, and possibly who have been separated for a while, but were in spiritual connection. Like there was no doubt about it. The billboard said their name. Everybody that you ran into drove the car that they drive. There was all the signs and synchronicities. You would scroll and it seemed like there was messages that were coming directly to you from them. That was the type of connection that this twin flame I'm talking about. And now there's some sense of reality that has been slapped in the face, and it has made a energy of a void of the connection. You can't hear them in the spirit anymore. Wow. Okay. Look, death energy and the Chariot. You feel like they've moved on. You feel like they've moved forward. Okay. That's the masculine's energy. That's what I'm picking up anyways. You feel like they moved on, so you did. You couldn't hear them anymore. You couldn't feel them anymore. So you move forward. Okay. All right. Over here to the feminine energy, the bride offers herself. Wow. Okay, let's read about it. The bride offers herself. Wow, went right to it. This oracle offers you a message. Accept what is being offered now, whether through challenge or an easing of the way forward. There is a gift of grace from the divine feminine reaching for you now. Allow her in and be blessed. This oracle also heralds a time of importance in relationship. You have been revealing yourself and not being afraid of who and what you are, sharing yourself and willingness to connect. Your vulnerability is, your vulnerability and beauty is acknowledged and will attract the responses you need at the perfect time and in the perfect way. Every bride shall have her bridegroom. So, meanwhile, the feminine is over here ready for connection. So she withdrew her energy to focus on herself, okay? To some advance at some things in her life, to become a wife. And ultimately that the masculine felt her energy withdraw and thought things were over and moved forward. That's kind of what I'm getting here. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. She's accepting. She's accepting. Over here, the masculine is not accepting. Because his card says you may not always understand why certain things happen. Well, he doesn't understand why the connection got lost. It's almost like I'm hearing, Mr. Telephone Man, is something wrong with my line? When I dial my baby's number, I get a click every time. Mr. Telephone Man. Yeah, that's the energy that I'm feeling. You're trying to reach out, and there's, you getting this number has been disconnected. Wow. Okay. The Lovers and the Nine of Pentacles. Divine Feminine chose herself. So again, I'm speaking to the collective of twins who have been in separation, but have been in connection spiritually, seeing those signs and synchronicities, having those conversations telepathically. She must have got tired of the telepathic energy and wanted physical energy with the Nine of Pentacles. That's physical, okay? And it just never showed up, so she chose herself. That's what I'm feeling here. She chose herself. Meanwhile, she was choosing herself. She was creating financial independence, potentially, or material wealth or something, solidifying something so that she can be better suited for the suitor, okay? Then you have the Ten of Wands and the Three of Cups. Celebration, reconciliation, okay? But the Ten of Wands is about putting your burdens down. She also, I'm hearing like, put down or put to rest her concerns about the third party. Like, she'd rather you be happy. Divine Masculine. This is a very deep message that I was not expecting. I'm sorry, Twin Flame Collective. It's a very deep message between you two. I feel like the silent treatment that the masculine feels, like I'm the mediator here. She wasn't being silent. She was working on herself to benefit the union. And you felt it as silent treatment. And so now she is choosing herself, and you moved on because you didn't think that there was anything else in the connection. You hadn't heard from her. Okay? Spiritually. Okay? I'm speaking spiritually. You two were connected, and there was no denying it. Sometimes it made you think you were crazy. Okay? And she was like, I'm over it. He can have a karmic if he wants. He just be happy. Just be happy. That's what she said. Look, 3 of Swords, 10 of Cups came out to clarify. Okay? This is emotional healing. She's not bothered by any karmics anymore. She just wants her divine masculine to be happy. And even if that means that it's not with her. That's beautiful. Like, I mean, that is some mature adult shit. And that's the only way I can say that. But the masculine doesn't like the emptiness that this gives him. He's happy potentially, but he doesn't like this emptiness. Now let's talk about what's in between. Beauty. Okay? Beauty is in between. Let's read about it. You are in the process of healing past wounds about your appearance, your body, and your sexuality, finding purity in all of yourself and becoming ready to share that with others in a deeper and more open way. Without shame or self-criticism, take your time and fall in love with what you are. Then you can become not the victim of others' own projected shame, not the victim of others' own projected shame, but love necessary, projected shame, but the love necessary for the shame of the world to heal. This oracle indicates a significant change in self-perception taking place within you, an ability to love and accept yourself more completely than you ever have before, quite simply because you have grown and there is more divinity awakened in your heart than ever before. The nature of the divine is love, and you are realizing that you don't have to change to be beautiful. Allow this development to grow swiftly and embrace your uniqueness, beloved. You are an exquisite flower in the heavenly garden. That's beautiful. And what it tells me is that there has been an ascension in the union, or in this case, the separation, but in the connection that both of you, divine masculine, divine feminine, have realized your true selves and are operating in that. There's a little bit of sadness, okay, because the divine feminine does have this 3 of Swords and 10 of Swords, and then the masculine is over here with the 5 of Swords, okay. So there's a little bit of sadness that still resides. There's a residual that the reality is that you two are not in connection, at least not at this time. The masculine has moved on and the feminine is focusing on herself, and ultimately it was preparing herself to be the bride. I don't know, feminine, if you even realized that masculine, had moved on while you were over here trying to better yourself and be better prepared to be the wife, okay? So but then you say to yourself, even if I'm not the masculine's wife, I'm going to be better out here in the collective, to better serve the collective, to better lend my gifts. And I'm healed. I can't talk. Mercury retrograde. I am healed. Okay? Very, very deep. Very, very deep message. If you need a twin flame personal guidance, my information is going to be in the description, because this message is so intense. Being a twin flame and having the experience and what we go through in that, and it can be really challenging, and sometimes you think you're losing your mind, and a message like this can really bring in the reality and some clarity into the situation. And so it's deep. And so if you need any further, something more specific, definitely reach out to me. But this is for the community here who's been in separation but been in connection spiritually, but now there's a void. There's been some kind of disconnect in the spirit. No one intentionally set out to cut the tie or cut the tether, because you can't, because you are one soul split into two, or one spirit split into two. Okay? So it can't truly be cut but you're moving on with your lives. And there's a beauty about that. Okay? Playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the greatest healer. So, beautiful. That's an energy between the two of you. You might, it's almost giving me like a one last, what is it? One last hurrah? I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but there may be one last little, you might actually see one another in the physical and be able to like laugh about it all. And I don't know that you'll establish like a friendship where you're always seeing one another, always talking to each other, where you're truthfully friends and there's no hidden intentions for anything romantic. I don't know if that's going to be the case with this playfulness, you know, that can talk about flirting a little bit. But I do feel like you're going to laugh about it all, okay? Whether it's now or later, and that laughter allows the healing of the moving forward in life, okay? All right, twin flames, that is your message. Love and light.